There's Mahoney this morning. Patrick's in his crate having breakfast. Right? Just doing a quick early morning update vlog. I haven't really done anything for the last week since my last video. It's really been the week from hell. I don't feel well at all. My allergies are just, we've had a lot of storms, and it's just, when that happens, it kicks up stuff in the environment outside that just wreaks havoc on my allergies. And then neither of the dogs have felt well. They've just dealing with this stomach thing again. And in fact, this one over here has had me up since after 1 o'clock this morning, about 1:30 or something, until about 4 or something, with her stomach. And with hers, I know a lot of hers is like me, stress, and she just has a lot of fear and anxiety. That was just kind of something she came with when I took her. That's why she had been rehomed several times and was always brought back because she's got a lot of emotional issues. I got her when she was a puppy. She's about a year old, but still a puppy. And I was about the 4th or 5th home that she went in. And the first 4 months of her life, from experts and stuff that I had consulted, and considering where she was found in a part of downtown Atlanta where it's known for drugs, gangs, and dog fighting. And the condition she was in, she was skinny, starved, beat up, cut up. Her hair had fallen out, and she had an embedded collar. So, and it wasn't like a collar. It was like, you know, those chains they put on fighting pit bulls. So, we're pretty sure that she spent the first 4 months of her life as a bait dog for dog fighting. Which, if you don't know what a bait dog is, or a bait animal, it's a small, weak animal, a puppy, something small like that they use to incite the bigger dogs to attack, to train them to be fighters. So, and I hate people like that. I'd like 5 minutes alone in the room with the piece of garbage that made my dog this way. But it left her with like really severe PTSD, and I've got PTSD, so I totally relate to that anxiety and fear that you live with all the time. It's a nightmare, and it does affect your health. And all in all, Mahoney's a very healthy dog, but her fear and anxiety, it has just been such a disability for her. And I think it was my understanding, my being able to relate to that, is why I did take her, and I wouldn't, never want to send her back to where I got her from. It's not her fault that she is the way she is. And I love her. But sometimes it's a little hard to handle. She can get on your very last nerve with that. The way she freaks out, gets all sketchy and stuff. And you guys will see my videos where she'll be sitting here 1 minute and she's fine, then she just freaks out and runs off. She's like that all the time. And she's a lot better than she used to be, and that's not really saying a lot, but she is a lot better than she used to be. But it seems like ever since I broke up with my ex last year, she just hasn't quite been the same, and she's gotten to where she's very aggressive and territorial about the bedroom and the bed. Where you going? Lay down there. See? She's just aggressive and territorial now when it comes to the bedroom and the bed itself, and not towards me, but towards Padfoot. And we all know he's a pain in the arse because he's a bundle of energy 24/7. But that's just him. He's still in full puppy mode. It's not that he's trying to hurt her or anything, but she just feels threatened that she doesn't want to share that spot. But, you know, these dogs have been here for 5 years. And actually, in a few days, it will be 5 years that I've had Mahoney. I've had Padfoot 5 years since June. Where are you going? Come here. Want this biscuit? Come here. Come here. I can't feed you breakfast. You were sick, but you can have this. Come here. Come here. I know. And I know she loves Padfoot. She really does. You know, she's very protective over him. Even if I try to punish him for being bad, she gets upset. She doesn't want anything to happen to her brother. But on the other hand, I can't handle her jumping on him for no apparent reason. And which led to another event or incident earlier this week. I think it was on Monday. Mahoney had a little bit of food left in her dish. She was sketched out. She wouldn't eat all of it. And I walked Padfoot and I brought him in, put him in his crate for him to eat. Mahoney wouldn't finish her food, so I went ahead, I walked her, brought her back in, and she was standing at the back end of Padfoot's crate, towards the back hallway going back to the bedrooms, and I let Padfoot out of his crate, and he was headed back towards the bedroom, and I guess she perceived that he was a threat to her, that few pieces of kibble left in her dish, and she jumped him, and they get into fusses like that all the time. It's just like sibling fusses, but Mahoney was taking it to a whole new level that morning, and they're pretty easy to stop the fussing. You know, just step in. I usually just grab Padfoot by the collar and yank him over, and I know you're not supposed to do that. You can get bit, but you know, you're supposed to let sibling dogs work it out. But I was tired and I wanted to lay back down, so I grabbed him by the collar and y'all need to quit this crap. It's too early for this nonsense. And a couple hours later, Padfoot had just been crying. He wasn't acting himself, and that's pretty abnormal for him. Mahoney! Either come in here or go lay down. Don't make me crazy. So, he was acting really sketchy himself, and that's not typical of him. So, I had reached over we were on the bed, and I reached over to hug him, and I noticed he had a big gash in the side of his face. And Mahoney bit him and ripped his face open, and this never happened before. And I rushed Padfoot to the vet, and luckily he was okay. They washed it out. They recommended stitches, but they know that that's very expensive. I just got done paying bills. I didn't have hundreds of dollars to stitch his face up. But they said even though it was a big gash and it was very deep, they didn't see really putting him through the pain of getting stitches if he didn't really need it. And they thought he didn't. They thought that, I was more than capable of treating him at home. So they cleaned it out. And by that evening, the wound had sealed shut. And by the next morning, it was completely healed over. They gave him an antibiotic, but with his sensitive stomach, antibiotics just tear his tummy up. So he got sick all over again. So cut out the antibiotic, and so far no sign of infection, but he's fine. It's just Mahoney that I've been worried about, between that and having me up sick in the middle of the night. I know she's been stressed out all week over that incident and just her normal irrational fears that she lives with. So I'm at the point with her where I don't know what to do with her. Hi! Come here. I mean, it's got to make you wonder. I know when I got her, she was a day away from being taken to animal control, where, being that she's a pit bull mix with these emotional issues, that's an immediate death sentence for a dog. Mahoney, come here. Come here. Come on. What are you doing? Come here. Come here. Come be with Mama. Come here. Come here. She don't come here. She's scared because the Build-A-Bear box is over here. See, it's just stuff like that. The box isn't touching her. The box isn't hurting her. But she's afraid of it because it's there. I moved it. You know, and for a dog to live like this, I mean, I've given her the one thing she's never had in life, and that's love. But sometimes that's not enough. Or maybe it's not enough. I don't know. I don't know if I'm being cruel to her by letting her live in this kind of messed up state with, you know, with the issue she has going on in her head. You know, sometimes you wonder, come here, if the kinder thing to do will be put her down. And I don't want to do that. I love this dog. But I also can't take a chance on her hurting Padfoot worse down the road. She's not a vicious dog. She's a very sweet, loving dog. She just doesn't know how to accept love. I guess I kind of relate to her in that aspect as well. It's easy to push people away when you feel like that, and that's how she is, and I get it. So this week I've just been really stressed out on not knowing how I want to handle her anymore. I mean, you just don't abandon your family, and she is my family. She's my furry child. But when is enough enough? I don't want to put her through misery. So she's a good dog, and she didn't deserve what happened to her. But, you know, I have to put Padfoot's safety and well-being and health, you know, as a priority as well. You know, I can't have him hurt again. And I don't think she even intentionally hurt him, because they fight like that every now and then. They're dogs, you know, and they're like brother and sister. So, you know, that stuff like that just happens. But if I ever thought she intentionally set out to attack Padfoot because she was a mean dog, she would not be here. But I just feel like a failure because I don't know how to help her. And me being under stress all the time doesn't help these dogs either. And I feel bad about that, but I just try to think, if it weren't for me, either one of them wouldn't be here. Padfoot was so severely neglected when I got him. He was eat up with fleas, worms. He was 2 months old, and from the day he was born, he was being fed. Not lay down. He's being fed adult dog food. He had never had any shots. Never even had a vet visit, and it, with all that neglect that he went through, him and his brother, because I was supposed to get his brother too, and last minute they didn't give him to me. But because of him and his brother's past neglect, Halffoot's got permanent stomach issues, and that's never going to change. Otherwise, he's healthy. It's just the sensitive stomach issue because he wasn't cared for. And she's got the stomach issues. It's stress and neglect and abuse issues as well. So, but, you kind of sign on for these things when you know you're taking a special needs animal. I just worry that for Mahoney's situation, I might not be doing right by her, Sometimes you just wonder with animals like this if death isn't a kinder alternative, because you don't want them just to sit around and suffer. I mean, if a dog had cancer or, a failing organ, heart, or, something like that, you're not going to let your dog just lay there and suffer in pain. Sometimes you just have to let them go. I've had a lot of animals that were, family members, furry family members that, had terminal health issues, throughout my life. And, you just have to let them go sometimes. But what do you do with a dog that's, for the most part, physically healthy, but mentally just lives in fear and terror all the time? You just don't know how to handle it. So I didn't mean to go off on a big rant about that. I've been up all night sick with her, and just wondering if I need to make some hard decisions about her future. I don't want to put her through any undue stress and make her sit, thank you, and make her live being unhappy. So that's no way to live, boy do I know that. So we're just trying to work through some issues with that right now. And like I said, then, I've been sick in the middle of all this going on. And then Tuesday, a very good friend of mine that I just love so much passed away. She's just a little older than me. And she had been sick and in a lot of pain for 2 or 3 years, and I always kept pushing her to try to find out what was going on. And she did go to doctors every now and then, and they just kind of blew it off. And I've had doctors like that. They don't take your pain seriously. They think it's in your head. But I kept pushing her to fight it. Keep going back. Keep going till you find a doctor that will listen. And last month she went to the hospital, and it was a little over a month ago, maybe closer to 2 months ago, she did go back to the hospital, and they found a tumor on her uterus. And she had been waiting for a while for the biopsy results to come back, and by the time they came back, she was just so severely ill that she never left the hospital. They put her in a cancer treatment center for her to die. So she had a very short battle with cancer she didn't even know she had, and she might have had a better chance if all these pieces of crap doctors she went to would have just listened. And I've been there myself with my first go around with cancer back in, it was think in 2002, I can't quite remember, but I had a tumor, and doctors weren't taking it seriously, and I was in a lot of pain, and I was very, very sick, and none of the doctors would help me, and it wasn't until my mother stepped in and threatened the doctor to, she was physically going to take him off this planet if he didn't do something to find me help. And sure enough, it was breast cancer and a tumor. It was actually 3 tumors right there, and they had formed and melded together into one huge one, and it ate into the muscles of my arm, and I was losing use of my arm. And it took a couple years to get the diagnosis and get the surgery to remove the tumor, and I still have the big scar. But it makes me angry that a beautiful person like her, this beautiful soul, had to be taken away because nobody would listen to her. And it just makes me so angry. So, I've been really upset and grieving all week for her. So, it's been a very difficult week, and I'm just trying to get through this week, and I'm glad it's almost over. You know, Monday's a new day, so hopefully we can get there, and I can get through the rest of the weekend without too much drama and nonsense. And as you can see, I'm a blinger or whatever, but I'm blonde and ginger right now. I'm getting ready to go in the bathroom and put my colors in my hair. I've named it Operation Peacock because I'm doing peacock colors. It's going to be atomic turquoise on the top. The middle layer is going to be purple haze purple, and the underside and tips are going to be enchanted forest, which is like a dark turquoise teal kind of green. Maybe a little darker than a jade green or whatever. But I had to bleach my hair out, and I did it once this week, but it didn't quite get it light enough. I still had some dark. It was kind of like when I had done the purple, the lower half just didn't want to get light enough, so I had to use a stronger bleach. Well, it needed a second bleaching, and I meant to put the 40 part on the rest of the back, but in the front this time, because I'd already done 40 in the front, and these streaks where the purple had been from a few months ago, because I didn't want to put a 40 back on there, because since it had already been bleached once a few months ago and then done again with the strong 40 the other day, I didn't want to put 40 on there. Well, the dogs were driving me crazy yesterday morning when I got up and I did the bleaching, get the second round of bleaching, and I forgot to put the 20 here and on the old purple streaks, and I accidentally put the 40. So after it got washed out, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but there's a section right here that broke off. And there'll probably be some more that breaks off. And I'm just waiting for it to fall off on this side too. But after I had a massive panic attack over it, I realized that, for one, I need my hair trimmed because it hasn't been cut in about 5 or 6 years. So it definitely needs a trim. And I think I'm going to get maybe about that much cut off. And then once I do that, if any more of this breaks off, then, you know, it won't be too noticeable with the length of my hair. So I'm trying not to be too tragic about it You know, I knew there was a risk. I've got very thick, strong hair, and in a sense it's strong, but on the other hand, because of my Hashimoto's, I can't think this morning, Hashimoto's thyroid disease, my hair stays very dry, and it definitely has a weak side to it. So, you know, just the previous 2 bleachings, and using a strong bleach in the front for the third, or for that second bleaching this week was a little much, and it broke off my hair, but could be worse. I mean, it could be broken off up there. So, thank goodness it's not. It's just a little late. And my hair goes so super fast, because it was in 2010 where my hair was up to here. So, I mean, in 5 years, my hair's grown down past my butt. So, it'll grow back pretty fast. I'm not sweating it too bad, but I'm going to go in there in a minute and get this color on my hair. And, since it's Manic Panic, it doesn't have any chemicals in it, so I can leave it for hours and hours. So, I usually leave it for like 5 to 8 hours. Let the color get real saturated and deep in my hair, and then, I rinse it out. And since I can't wash my hair more than 3 or 4 times in a month because of my, sensitive skin and thyroid condition, I don't have to worry about the color fading as much. And I'm not going to be bleaching my hair anymore, aside from like a little bit on the roots when they come through. Other than that, when I'm tired of that, I'm going to just dye it black again eventually and just leave it alone. It's just hair. It grows back. She's finally settled down. But, so that was yesterday's tragedy. My hair fell out. But, and I'm sure the color is not going to take perfectly. And I'm going to have like light spots, dark spots. But, yeah, that's okay too. I'm weird. I don't mind looking weird. And look at it now, it's all different colors. So, a couple people said they like me better blonde. I'm like, no. My mom always wanted me to go back blonde because, believe it or not, even though I'm native, I'm actually naturally blonde. I was born with jet black hair, then that baby hair fell out and it grew back just white as snow. And it was like this, most of my life. So I've always dyed my hair dark, because I like it better. This is the first time I've been blonde in over 20 years. So, but this is about to go bye-bye here in a few minutes, and I'm just resting and relaxing today. Me, no adult today. No, ain't gonna happen. I probably should. My kitchen's a disaster, and I want to do some cooking and baking, but I've got too much on my plate literally right now to deal with anything else. So, but next time you see me, I will have crazy color hair, and I'll be back either tomorrow or Monday. I've got some packages, coming over the next couple days. No ma'am. Here. I got some packages coming over the next couple days. Well, it's Saturday, post doesn't run on Sundays, but today and Monday, so I'll probably be back Monday to open some stuff. I've gotten some packages this week. I went to the thrift shop a couple of times, and we're going again tomorrow, so we'll see what's going on. And yeah, so that's it for now. We'll be back in a couple of days.